and welcome to the first video in a series of videos that I of video interviews that I will be doing with Vesaku. And so, welcome from wherever you're watching in the world. Our very first guest in the series is Laylaa Motala. Laylaa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Michelle, and hi, everybody watching. My name is Laylaa Motala. I'm a third year mechatronic engineering student at Stellenbosch University.
Thank you for joining us, Laylaa. So my first question is, how and why did you join Vesaku?
So before the Vesaku, there was these discussions on abstract mathematics and psychology that Sophie initiated. I was in first year at the time, and Sophie was my lecturer. So, of course, she encouraged her students to attend these discussions. Um, And one of the reasons I decided to attend these discussions was because I believed in taking every opportunity that comes my way. And I felt that these discussions would be able to contribute to my personal development. Um, so then, when the discussions progressed into the magazine that we know as Vesaku now, I got involved when Sophie asked me to write an article for it. And then just from there on, Vesaku grew, and my involvement with it grew.
Okay, that's great. Would you mind just elaborating a bit more on the article you wrote, what it was about?
So the article that I wrote was on gender inequality and competition, especially in mathematics, because I think that was the topic, competition um, in mathematics, competition or collaboration in mathematics. So I wrote an article about gender inequality um, and my personal experience, not just in mathematics, but in my education career, um, of uh, how I cope with competition, how I cope with gender inequalities, and how that all relates to my learning of mathematics.
Okay, thank you. And was when you read other people's articles as well and you sort of hear their experiences with competition, is it something that you look at and you can relate? Is it something that you feel is endemic to mathematics only or education as a whole?
Um, so I I'm a very competitive person, and a lot of times people or a lot of people that I've spoken to aren't very competitive, and they don't enjoy the competitiveness in learning mathematics and in education as a whole. But I think something that we do have in common is that even though we have different views of competition, it's something that we all have to overcome. Um, I have to overcome my need to always be competitive to actually grow in my learning environment. So I think even though we have these different views, it's an opportunity for us to go together um, and to have something in common.
Oh, that's true. And that kind of segues into my next question, and that is how
Mhm.
has being a part of Vesaku changed your experience of learning mathematics?
Okay. Um, yeah, I thought about this question quite a bit. Um, Coming into high school or coming from high school, I was greatly concerned about my mark. How well I did in school was always um, something that I was thinking about constantly. And this shaped the way I learned mathematics. And it was always about doing well in a test, and that was it for me. So when I came into university, it was quite easy to just fall into the same routine, the same pattern. And when I joined the discussions on abstract mathematics, this topic of just learning to pass came up quite a number of times. And I think this was when I actually started breaking down this entire mindset that I have. And I realized that I need to start learning to understand. So even though I knew what I was doing was wrong, I never actually broke it down until these discussions. Um, so I began slowly change my mindset and my method of learning. And I think I've progressed quite far. And I've not just applied this to mathematics, but to all of my education, to all of my modules, and yeah, it's been. I know it sounds cliche, but it's been life changing.
I think cliche isn't always bad, and
Yeah,
anything that helps you grow as a person is life changing. So,
yeah,
yeah, and
definitely
so
agree.
my sort of final question is, if you could give advice to yourself at the beginning of primary school, so that's sort of the you entering to learn mathematics, and then you at the beginning of high school, and then you at the beginning of university, what would you tell all three versions of yourself? It can be different things, it can be the same thing. Just what
Yeah,
advice would you give to yourself?
I think let me start with coming from high school to university because the first thing that popped into my mind when you asked the question was I would tell myself, don't get stuck in the same routine. Be open to change. Listen to other people's point of views. And I think I would tell myself, you're not always right. And yeah, I think that advice I would give myself throughout um, my educational career uh, because it's something I've struggled with for quite some time. And even though I'm not perfect and I'm not always 100% open to it, I've grown a lot. Um, and yeah, I've grown into taking other people's opinions and their advice to heart and actually implementing them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Layla, for joining me. Thank you for being my very first guest in these series of interviews, and wishing you all the best in your future mathematical career, your future educational career, and just
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Michelle. Thank you. Thank you to all of your viewers.
Thank you to the viewers too, and see you guys next time.
Bye.